while listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up! Yeah. Mike and Josh. 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 Spit the facts. Spit the facts. Cut the crap. Get the latest. Get the latest. Let's run it back. Run it back.
All right, here we go. Good morning, world, and all who inhabit it. This is Mike and Josh here on the Grid Network, exclusively on the Grid Network. I'm Mike Guido. That's Josh Tariff. It's great to have you here on another beautiful Tuesday morning. It's cold here in New York, but how's the weather out there in LA? Josh, is still warm and sunny and beautiful every day?
Well, no, it's finally getting back to that. We had an unusual rainfall for like 6 or 7 straight days, which is not like it out here at all. Which is why my voice is still not 100%. So I'm working on it, guys. Don't worry. I'm clearly still suiting up and getting in the game. This is no, I'm not treating this like turf toe or anything of that nature. I'm still playing for you people. And how could I not be hyped up with that new beat that we got dropping in for our show?
I know.
I mean, we actually have like a theme and stuff, and it makes me bob my head, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So
right. It is what the kids.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well heading to this week of thanks.
It is what the kids would call a bop, I think.
It is hip and dope with it, yo.
How old are you, Josh? 100? Something around there? Ish?
100 and a half.
Oh, okay, good. All right. We're still counting half years. That means you're still young. So we're still rolling here. Plenty of stuff to go over today. As always here on Mike and Josh. Again, it's great to have you here this morning. So we're going to start today, believe it or not on the Cowboys, which is odd.
Wait, what?
We always start with the Cowboys. So far, we have a track record of starting with the Cowboys. By the way, good morning, Patrick. Good morning, fellas. Happy Tuesday to all who's listening and watching. New articles published on the Grid webpage. Make sure you check those out again. Chilly and rainy here out in the Midwest. I don't doubt that. I did my MLB free agency predictions yesterday with my good buddy Dalton Brown on the Bicoastal Baseball podcast. And he said that it has been warm and beautiful up there in Minnesota, but it's expected for this week. He's like, it's unprecedented, but this coming week, it's apparently supposed to get snowy and into like the teens, which is a bit more of Minnesota's speed. And how about them Cowboys, seeing those foul-mouthed Eagles fans crash out and cry coming from Patrick Brown in the comment section. Coming in hot today, Patrick. It's great to hear your.
We're ready. We're ready to roll today. I love it. We
are rolling. Excuse me. Just because we are not starting with the Cowboys does not mean we will not talk about them, however. That is coming up next in the next segment, about 15, 20 minutes or so. We will talk about that. Are the Ravens back to normal? Like, have they kind of figured it out now after a really terrible start to the season? Have they kind of figured it out about midway through? We'll discuss that as well. We talked a bit about the Thunder last week in reference to how poorly positioned the Clippers are, Josh.
Yes.
But this week, I mean, we're kind of talking about the Thunder themselves, and if they could potentially be the best team in the NBA for the next like decade plus. And we'll talk about that coming up likely in hour number 2. I am sporting the Yankee hat, and
I know. We are covering the hair today, the luscious locks with the Yankee cap.
I know
that. By the way, and again, this might go back to me being 100 and a half years old, as we just touched on.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood. I remember growing up where it was normal to bend the rims of hats.
Yeah.
To wear them. And now it's like sacrilegious if you touch the rim of a hat.
Yeah. Well, here, listen, this is not totally flat brimmed. I mean, I like it where the curve of the hat, see, like, here's the thing. I have a very wide and large head. Like I wear a 7 3/4 hat. So like my head's big. So I like the brim to reach the width of my face. But I do like a little curve. I don't like it when it's like flat like this.
Uh-huh.
But if it's got a little curve to it, it's a little curvature. I like that.
Okay.
There's nothing to like my face cannot support a brim that's that thin. I don't wear dad hats or anything like that with thin, like, nothing like that. I can't make it work on my head. It makes my head look huge. So
That's why I don't wear hats, period, because my head just looks so
I know
gigantic.
it's my dad's reason too. My dad has multiple reasons why he doesn't wear
Also,
hats.
why would I want to cover up this hair?
I know it's
Come
it's
on.
amazing. You look like Glenn Powell. It really is amazing.
Oh,
Um,
you're too kind.
So as like I said, I'm sporting the Yankee hat, and Hal Steinbrenner made some comments yesterday. I am a proponent of baseball talk in the winter. So
I noticed
apologize that we're in the off season, and we're going to be talking a little bit of baseball today. But Hal Steinbrenner made some comments yesterday when meeting with the media about the Yankees, and I do think that brings up a bit of a conversation piece. We'll touch that in hour number 2. But we are starting today with Shedeur Sanders getting his first win as an NFL starter, in his first official NFL start, by the way, on the road at the Las Vegas Raiders. Completed 55% of his throws, 11 of 20, 209 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. That happened on Sunday for Shedeur Sanders. So far on the year, his completion percentage is 41.7%.
all
As
right.
in his first game, when he came in late in the game, he went 4 for 16 against the Ravens at home. But listen, here's the thing about Shedeur Sanders. The Browns are in a position, Josh, where they're not competing for anything, and everybody knows that. So why not just ride out this puppy? I mean, listen, if you ask me, okay, I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be a fairly solid NFL quarterback. I do. I think he could be, maybe a borderline starter. I think he's probably, in my opinion, Dylan Gabriel is going to be a career backup in the NFL. That's me. Okay. If he turns into Patrick Mahomes, you can clip this up and call me an idiot. But I think Shedeur, regardless of the numbers, I think I like what I see from Shedeur better already than what I see from Dylan Gabriel. I just think Shedeur Sanders is the better player. So if I'm the Browns, I'm letting this ride out. I think he's the starter for the rest of the season, regardless of Gabriel's health. I'm letting this puppy ride. I think this is, they have a real chance. They have to figure out whether or not Shedeur is their guy or if they have anything in Shedeur before it's too late to reinvest in the quarterback position. And I think for the rest of this season is a pretty solid sample size of seeing if you have something. What do you think, Josh?
I mean, yeah, I agree with that because Shedeur, okay, obviously when he came into the game against the Ravens, he was nothing short of deplorable in that performance. Now, but if you want to try to be fair, okay, debut against division rival, and he never did any reps with the starters going into that. So he had a week to prepare properly, and it certainly benefited him that they went up against the Raiders, who we touched on last week, have been an absolute disaster this season.
Yeah.
So he came out and was serviceable. He was not a bad quarterback. You ran through the numbers. He was 11 of 20, 209 with a touchdown and a pick. Granted, you have Myles Garrett averaging 17 sacks a game.
He is so.
It's going to help you a little.
Yeah.
So to your point, yeah, the Browns, they are now in the position for the rest of the season to do two things. One, to try to play spoiler against any upcoming opponents.
Yeah.
And two, to really examine, hey, is Shedeur good enough to stay on the team? Is he surpassed Dylan Gabriel? Will Dylan Gabriel come back in at some point if Shedeur plays so poorly? And will one of them be worth trading in the offseason for another pick?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I just look at Shedeur, and compared to what they have with Dylan Gabriel, right? Because that really seems to be the conversation right now. I look at Shedeur, and I just think there's more zip on that fastball. Like I just think that arm has more potential than what you're getting out of Dylan Gabriel. I just that's what I see. He looks the part more.
Well, that's what I was going to get into. Okay, yeah, he might have some more zip, but the key thing, Shedeur, and this has just always been his mindset because of who his dad is. He's definitely a lot more confident than Dylan Gabriel has become. And again, when you're leading the Cleveland Browns offense, how confident can you really be in anything over the last 30 years? So I can understand it knocking some confidence. So you need someone that does have a little more cockiness than confidence to try to run things. Now, the last time they really had someone of that nature, I would go back to Johnny Manziel, and we know how that worked out.
Yeah, right.
So Shedeur, though, at the same time, will put eyes on the product. And we all know that the NFL is still also a big business, and the Browns still want to make money and, be a team that people are worth watching, because they host the Niners this Sunday, who just had an impressive, win, being as bad as Brock Purdy played. They still had an impressive, win yesterday over the Panthers. But if it was Dylan Gabriel against the Niners, how many people are caring as opposed to Shedeur Sanders against the Niners?
Right.
More people want to tune in.
Yeah.
So that's the other avenue that the Browns have to examine as we reach the end of the season. Not just Shedeur's playing, but as far as what media and news comes from the games. Is it worth having him not just starting, but even on the team?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, like you said, they got nothing to lose at this point. We know they're not going anywhere. You could try, when I look at their schedule, 2 of their last 3 games, home against Buffalo and home against Pittsburgh, they could potentially be a spoiler type team for one of those.
Yeah.
If they were to pull off an upset win. So why not? Let's hop on the Shedeur bandwagon and
yeah.
Let's go ahead and buy some jerseys. Let's see if he can make, Cedric Tillman a household name in the last 6 weeks of the season. And it's funny that all the attention is still on Shedeur with the mediocre performance that he did, because, like I said a minute ago, Myles Garrett is breaking records this season.
I know.
Judkins has done a great job at running back for them this year.
Yeah.
Where as bad of an offensive line as they've had, excuse me, the fact that he's done what he's done is nothing short of impressive.
Yeah.
So let me throw an additional question with all this out at you. Let's say in these last 6 games, let's say best case scenario, absolute best case scenario, they're play 500 ball. They're not going to, but absolute best case scenario, they're 3-3 in these last 6 games. Do you feel, with this quarterback carousel and how they are, that Stefanski's job is on the line to close this season?
No. Why would
I agree. I agree with you that it shouldn't be, but go ahead. Why?
Yeah, why would it be? I mean, if there's any sense of stability that the Browns have had over the last number of years, Kevin Stefanski's the guy that brought it. I don't see a world where that can take place.
Right.
And I was a guy.
Yeah, because he's the only level-headed, minded person.
That's what I'm getting at. Right. Exactly. You want to talk about, Like, especially if you're going to roll with Shedeur Sanders with as much media attention as that kid could possibly get. Somebody like Kevin Stefanski, I think, is crucial in that locker room then. Like, Kevin Stefanski, when Kevin Stefanski got hired years ago, I had the take of, I wasn't even a fan of the hire because I'm like, if you just look at him, the guy can't command a press conference. He's too quiet. He's too reserved. I'm like, how is that going to motivate men? And I was wrong. He's turned out to be a fairly good NFL football coach. Now, again, the expectations have to be tempered a little bit. Right. The expectations have to be tempered a little bit because he coaches the Browns.
Yeah.
But the reality is that he's become a source of stability in that organization. Right? He's become no nonsense, no drama, no nothing. Kevin Stefanski is as normal of an NFL coach as you can find. Like, who you go out and you're going to go hire some other unknown. I think you can, kind of confidently say that Kevin Stefanski is a solid head football coach at this point. And with any sort of, unknown media attention or unknown distractions you could come across, especially if you strike fire with Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski is, I think, the guy that you want at the helm. Like, I think it's that sort of, that's the sort of thing that you should be looking for.
So what if, and obviously it's a hypothetical thing, what if all of a sudden Daddy Dion mentions to them, Colorado's terrible now. I think I want to go back and coach my son. Make room for me. Is the Browns front office that crazy? Because we know they are crazy. Are they that crazy to be like, hey, we think Shedeur is our future, and this will be the way for him to play his best. Let's get rid of Stefanski and bring Dion in.
No, I don't think they're that crazy. I think if Jerry Jones,
I hope you're right.
I think if Jerry Jones was their owner, then maybe they would be, but he's not. So I think the level heads would prevail in that scenario. But I think in the coming weeks, Josh, that will be a topic of conversation on a lot of sports network coverage. I really do.
No, because, again, we're expecting them to lose to the 49ers next week. Fine.
Yeah.
The following week, they have the Titans, one of the only teams worse than them. So if the Titans beat Shedeur, this conversation is going to start taking place.
Absolutely. And that could happen, by the way.
It could.
All it takes is for Cam Ward to just go nuts in one game.
Right.
But you talk about the Titans. I mean, they are putrid. God, they're awful. I mean,
they are, with all the talk that there's been the last couple of years about the Giants dropping the ball with everything with Saquon and then Daniel Jones, the Titans are just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel. You've been relying on Calvin Ridley to be your top playmaker, which would be a great idea if this was the year 2017.
Right.
Tony Pollard is your top running back. It took me a minute to remember that Tony Pollard was still in the league, let alone the starting running back for a franchise.
Getting paid pretty good money too. Getting paid pretty good money. So listen, I think honestly, so let me throw this at you, Josh, like real quick, just to close the Shedeur topic. I don't want necessarily your like analytical makes sense brain here. I want your pure opinion. I want your pure opinion.
They sometimes intertwine too much, but I'll try. I know,
but I think you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Of like, just pure what you see, I don't want to hear, I don't know.
Yep.
Is Shedeur Sanders their guy?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Their guy is not on their team.
Okay. I think there's a real possibility that he is. I do.
I hope for their sake he is. Because they can't be going to every draft hoping for a quarterback.
Yeah. Right.
You have to build other positions eventually.
It has to stop at some point. And listen, I liked him in college. I thought he was a top, I forget where I had him ranked, but I did think he was a quarterback worthy of a first round pick. I listen, all they need, get him a receiver or two and another offensive lineman, and I think it works. I do. There's enough confidence and talent in that kid where he can overcome all of the noise, I think.
And I will tell you this, I do love, and I was saying it all offseason, of a great rookie fantasy waiver wire pickup, and he's done a decent job this year, was Harold Fanning.
Yeah.
And Njoku's on a contract year, so he's most likely gone, and good for him because he spent so many years on this team. Go somewhere where you can possibly, compete at this point in your career.
Right.
So, hey, you got Fanning continue to develop. Like we mentioned Judkins, how great he's done for his rookie year. Yeah, get another receiver, offensive line. We already know your defense is good. And please make something out of it. The people of Cleveland deserve this. My God, do they deserve with the just terrible luck they've had for so long, and then you finally get Baker, and someone decides, he ain't the right fit, and the rest is history with Baker. Yeah. So, I hope for the sake of Cleveland Browns fans, because I have a lot of friends that are diehard, lifelong Browns fans. I hope you are right that Shedeur is the guy.
Yeah. Listen, we'll see. Hopefully Myles Garrett doesn't turn out to be the Mike Trout of the NFL, where his entire career just wastes away and he never sees a playoff game.
Well, forever. They just hate him. I mean, he's locked in.
Right. I know. So, all right. Coming up next, we made it about 25 minutes before we talked about the Cowboys again.
I am so proud of you. I'm impressed.
Something. Coming up next, Cowboys Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That should be an interesting one. Is the comeback against the Eagles any sort of indication that the Cowboys have potentially turned it around? That's coming up next.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
Like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not. So Bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
crack them if you got them, son. Crack them if you got them, son.
Crack them if you got them. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
You need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off. Throw your score prediction in our live chat. And if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Thank you for leading us in. Before we get into the Cowboys, some big baseball news just dropped. Sonny Gray has been traded to the Red Sox. So the right-handed starter from the St. Louis Cardinals heading to the Boston Red Sox. 4.28 ERA last year in 32 starts. 180 innings pitched, 201 strikeouts. Obviously an innings eater. He's getting older in his career. Next year is going to be his age 36 season. He's signed for the next 2 years at roughly $35 million a year. He's got this year, and then he's got a club option for next year at around $30 million. Listen, a lot of people thought the Red Sox were going to try and supplement their starting pitching a little bit, and they end up making a big move here for Sonny Gray. Still, the return hasn't been reported yet. This came out just a couple minutes ago. But it looks like, hold on, let me see. Do we have a return yet? I'm looking. I don't see a return as of yet. Well, when it comes, we'll get it to you. But Sonny Gray to the Red Sox. What do you think, Josh?
I mean, my initial thought with something like that is, okay, good for the Red Sox, but they need more than that to compete with the Yankees and Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly a good start to get a good veteran arm in your rotation. So again, the question is going to be, what do they give up? How many minor leaguers, did they send to the Cardinals in return? So yeah, I'll have to wait and see on it, but I know you're excited because this is meaning, movement is beginning to happen in the baseball offseason.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm a sucker for baseball news. I really am. So Sonny Gray getting traded to the Red Sox. Sonny Gray, by the way, had a full no trade clause. So he had to approve of this trade going to Boston. So he's going back to the Red Sox. Or I shouldn't say.
And how much is he? You said he's locked in for 2 more years. What is the pay?
Well, he's locked in for 1. Then he's got a club option for 2027.
Okay.
This is going to be his age 36 season. So he's really at the tail end of his career now. Still a quality starting pitcher, but we'll see how he does in the American League. Was not terrible for the Cardinals by any means necessary, but he's had a bit of an up and down career. He really has. I mean, he was really good with the A's early on in his career. Goes to the Yankees, was not good for them. Was very up and down for the Reds. very good for the Twins for a couple of years. And then he's been about average for the Cardinals the past 2 years. He's bounced around a bunch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, if once we get a return, we'll report that to you. But Sonny Gray to the Red Sox, breaking right here on our air. I love, by the way, when we get breaking news right out of the game.
If we get breaking news while we're on the air, it's better. It's waking up on Christmas morning. That's what I mean. When we had the Sauce Gardner news while we were on the air, that was just, a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe this will start an avalanche of deals over the next 24 hours in Major League Baseball.
Yep. By the way, Patrick Brown, who I know is a big time St. Louis Cardinals fan. Sonny Gray to Boston. What did my Cardinals get in return? He was our best pitcher and carried the bullpen until he wore down. Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. I keep hearing that Christian Campbell could be going back to the Cardinals. We'll see about that. Again, that's not reported, but that's what I keep seeing. Again, we'll get that return to you in a minute. Okay, let's go back to let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So they've had quite the weekend, falling to the Eagles 21-0 in the first half. And then the Cowboys come back and make it a 24-21 victory. It is quite probably one of the comebacks of the year. Dak Prescott really put it together in the second half of this game. George Pickens has been remarkably good for the Cowboys.
Yes.
Beyond, this is his best year as a pro. Without question, this is
by leaps and bounds.
Leaps without a doubt.
Yeah.
Also in this game, Dak passed Tony Romo for the most passing yards in Cowboy history. That being a little bit of a side note. But, Josh, we talked about the Cowboys last week, and then 2 weeks before that when we were there, we always talk about the Cowboys. So, a little redundant, but it is what it is. The Dallas Cowboys are now 5-5-1. Okay?
Yeah.
And the only reason they're 5-5-1 is because ties exist in the NFL, and I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. But have the Cowboys somewhat figured it out? Have they kind of, their defense, without question,
this is the best they've looked all season.
Oh my goodness, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Have the Cowboys kind of figured it out, Josh?
I will tell you this, and I know it'll bring a smile to your face. This is the first week of our show where it's like, okay, you know what? The Cowboys are a topic to discuss today, because of what they pulled off. Because I mentioned last week when we were talking about the Cowboys that for them to have a shot at making the playoffs, they have to go 6-1 in their last 7 games. And I'm seeing, the first 10 minutes of this game, and in the back of my mind, I'm just like, all right, that's the end of their season. That's it. I wonder how this conversation is going to go with Mike on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then their defense and special teams pull it out for them, and they make the biggest comeback of the season, and tied for their biggest comeback in franchise history, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
And they all of a sudden try to put themselves a notice on, hey, we are getting things back on track. And all credit to Schottenheimer, because no one thought this was a good idea at coach. And he is doing something with that team's mindset. And he is making them think, hey, even though they're 5-5-1, you guys can compete and get in the playoffs.
Yep.
All of that said, they still had to go a total of 6-1 to have a shot. Now, they won the first one, which they weren't expected to win this one. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, you got Kansas City on Thanksgiving, who are in the exact same boat as the Cowboys.
Yeah.
because they have to practically win out, and they also with an epic comeback on the Colts to keep their season afloat.
Right.
One Thanksgiving game got so intriguing because one season is ending on Thursday between the Cowboys and Chiefs.
Interesting.
One of them is officially going to be out of the playoff run with a loss.
Wow.
And the other will still have a shot. Because again, when you look at the NFC side, hey, you got the Bears, Lions, and Packers are all battling for the NFC North, and the other two are going to be in the wild card conversation.
Right.
NFC West, Rams are on top, but the Seahawks and Niners are right there, also battling for wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
How are the Cowboys going to overtake three of those, or two or three of those teams to get into that last spot?
Right.
I know they don't have to worry about others in their division. You won't have to worry about the NFC South. They're only putting one team in. So what are they going to do? And then similar with the Chiefs side, you got Broncos and Chargers ahead of them. You got Steelers still a little bit in the mix. You got Jacksonville and Houston trying to climb for wild card spots. So they have to win as well.
Yeah.
And on top of all this stuff, to me, as great of a win this is for the Eagles, or excuse me, for the Cowboys, this screams at me that, okay, there's a lot more wrong in Philadelphia than what's been led on.
Yeah, I kind of think that too. And we'll talk about that in a minute, just because I think the Cowboys are good enough to be a playoff team. I do. But I think the NFC as a whole this year is so deep.
Yeah.
That there's just no room for them to get in.
Right. This Cowboys team that we saw 100% is a playoff worthy team.
Yeah.
The problem was the last 8 weeks where they just accrued too many losses to get back in with the depth of the NFC.
If the trade deadline was 2 weeks sooner, I think we could be having a different conversation about the Cowboys. Honest to God. The Cowboys defense, since the trade deadline, they're top 5 in defensive efficiency, right? They've allowed 90. I mean, this was a big thing for the Cowboys, right? They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass, right? They especially against the run, they couldn't do anything with it. They've allowed 90 rushing yards in 2 games on 30 carries. And they've only allowed 1 rush of over 10 yards in 2 games.
And that 90 rushing yards in 2 games was against Ashton Genty and Saquon Barkley. 2 of the better running backs in football. Yeah.
So this is a real improvement for the Cowboy defense. That's kind of why I think this improvement from the Cowboy defense is real and not a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the Cowboys made themselves a miles better football team with what they did. Miles better. I mean, Quinnen Williams has been damn near, with the exception of Myles Garrett, right?
Yeah.
He's been damn near the best defensive lineman in football for the last 2 weeks. He's been sensational for them.
He has been great. So, if he can keep this consistency up to be a top tier lineman, which he was always kind of in the conversation, on the cusp of being in that top tier.
Right.
These last 2 weeks, he has certainly played in the top tier. So we can keep that up. Plus these extra picks that Dallas has accrued from these trades, or I've gotten from the other these
Micah
items.
Parsons and everything. Yeah, right.
Yeah, with the Micah Parsons trade. Then it's okay, well, you have items to help really build on. Even if we don't make the playoffs this season, you have this momentum going into the offseason with those picks. Maybe you get another free agent to come out there based on the improvement that they've seen.
Right.
Now into 2026-7, Cowboys are a team to start considering.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think the playoff picture is just a bit too deep. I mean, if you look at it right now, right, the Detroit Lions are not in the playoffs if they started today.
Which is mind-blowing.
That is beyond what anybody could have thought, right? The Rams, Eagles, Bears, the Chicago Bears are leading the NFC North.
Yeah.
like that's something. Now, there's an element to this where I think the Bears could come back down to earth a little bit. But Rams, Eagles, Bears, Bucks, 3 wildcard teams are Seattle, the Packers, and the Niners. Lions are the first team out. Then it's Carolina and Dallas. I mean, it's just a lot to ask.
The Cowboys, like I said, they got to nearly win out. So now 5 out of the last 6, realistically, I feel they got to win. And they need one of those NFC North or West teams to have a collapse.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, listen, we'll see. I like your point when you say one of the Chiefs or Cowboys seasons ends on Thursday.
Yeah. Which makes this one of the most must-see Thanksgiving games in recent memory.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because it's with 2 500 teams that are going at it.
Right.
But it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs.
Right. And the Chiefs, I mean, like, you want to talk about the Chiefs. I mean, that's a team that also has a bit of work to do.
Yes.
Right. They are not nearly what anybody thought they could be at the beginning of the year, or at least what the lore of the Chiefs has allowed their expectations to become. Yeah. But I mean, they're 3rd place in their division. The Denver Broncos are very, very good. And the Chargers, as much as they're a good football team, I think they can, they're a team that can fall behind Kansas City, I think. We'll see how it goes for the next few weeks for them. Mm-hmm. But Kansas City's had their struggles on both sides of the football, right? And it's gotten to the point where, I mean, a lot of people in our grid group chat have said the same thing, where Patrick Mahomes finally looks mortal. He's actually making mistakes. There are things that aren't happening as perfectly as they have been for Patrick Mahomes over the past number of years.
Right.
It's just, Travis Kelce's getting older, and all of these things are factoring in to the Chiefs being a 6-5 football team through 12 weeks.
Yeah. One more thing I do just want to touch on real quick. So back to the NFC. So if the season ended today, who do the Eagles play in the first round?
The Eagles would play the 49ers in the first round.
Okay. Is anyone betting against the 49ers today to go into Philly and beat them in the first round? Because I'm not. The way Philly's playing and the way they're being out-coached in these last few weeks, and it's more than just this A.J. Brown saga stuff. There's something going on there where whichever team is going to go on the road to Philly in the first round of the playoffs, I'm going to be picking them right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there needs to be something said about the real regression that we've seen out of Saquon Barkley this year.
Madden and Offensive Player of the Year curse. It's a real thing.
Yeah. No, it
is. I'm panicking for Seattle if JSN ends up being on the Madden cover next year, because boy, do they need him. So they do not want that to happen.
Well, and that's the thing, Josh, is that Philly's offense is, they really hinge their bets on Saquon Barkley's production, right? Yeah. Saquon Barkley is the cog in this offense that they run everything around. I mean, he ran for 2,000 yards last year. So, but this year he's averaging under 4 yards a carry. I mean, that's 4 yards a carry is usually that's the number of okay, that's appropriate for a running back, right?
Right.
If you're anything under 4 yards a carry, you're having a bad game or a bad year. That's what Saquon Barkley's been. I mean, Saquon Barkley through 11 games this year has ran for 684 yards. He averaged 125 yards a game last year. He's averaging literally half that this year. 62 yards a game. He's half as good as he was legitimately half as good as he was last year.
Now here's the coaching aspect though. So okay, he is literally playing half as good. Something is up with that. But you know what? We should be able to rely on the fact that we still have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert to get the ball down the field. And Jalen Hurts can throw to them. Jalen Hurts could also run. So, hey, we should still be okay. But clearly,
they're not.
They are the most unsafe. What are they? 8-3? 9? What are the? What's their record right now?
8-3.
Yeah. But I don't feel safe with them at all. Yeah, they're going to win the division because they just had such a huge lead in it that they're not going to give that up to Dallas.
Yeah.
But if they continue to play like they've played these last several weeks, I have no hopes for them to play the Niners or the Seahawks or the Packers in the first round, or say Bears dropped out. Like right now, I would lean towards the Bears with Ben Johnson's coaching to go into Philly and beat them in the first round. And I shouldn't, but that's how I feel right now.
But that's also the thing too, Josh, is we kind of had the same conversation with them last year of like this Philly team, very rarely does it look pretty. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked really pretty in the Super Bowl because they blew out Kansas City last year.
Right.
But like this is a team that, like, despite the fact that they look terrible, they're still winning games. Like they win ugly. And like that's really the thing with them is like, regardless of the fact that, like, I think Nick Sirianni is as probably overrated as a coach in the NFL as there is.
Oh,
like,
yes.
I think he's really, and I'm not a huge fan of his either. I think he's a bit of a tool, but I think the Eagles just have this way of, regardless of how bad they look, they still find a way to eke out wins. I mean, they still almost beat Dallas. I mean, Dallas had to have an amazing comeback. That's one thing, but they still almost beat the Cowboys at home.
And again,
in Dallas,
now we look at their upcoming games. Short week this week. They play Friday against the Bears, who we've been talking about. That's a huge game.
Is that game in Chicago?
No, then they're at LA to play the Chargers, who could very well beat them as well. And then they get the Raiders, they get the Commanders, but then week 17 they're at Buffalo, who are also playing for playoff positioning, and they could easily go 500 the rest of the way. And kind of stumble in to the playoffs. They'll still be the 3 seed because the 4 seed, the winner of the NFC South, is probably going to be 9-8. So they'll still be a 3 seed. But again, if I'm Seattle, if I'm San Francisco, if I'm Green Bay, if I'm Chicago, if I'm Detroit finding the way in, I am licking my lips and getting excited thinking, oh, we could get a first round. We'd be stuck in a road, but we're going to the way Philly's playing. Sign me up.
Yeah. All right. So we finally got a return on the Sonny Gray trade to the Red Sox. It is Sonny Gray and cash going to the Red Sox. So I think the Cardinals are covering part of Sonny Gray's contract.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals in return are getting Richard Fitz, the right-handed pitcher. So they're getting Richard Fitz, and they are getting the Red Sox number 5 prospect, Brandon Clark, who's a left-handed pitcher.
Okay.
So two younger pitchers to the Cardinals, and the Red Sox get Sonny Gray for a little bit of a discount. So I mean, it's a solid move for Boston, right? I mean, Boston trying to compete a little bit.
Boston trying to compete. Cardinals know they need to, retool a little bit and get a couple young prospects and hope that over the next year or two they develop.
Yeah. And this is not, by the way, speaking of the Cardinals, this is not the only move I think they're going to end up making. Like they could very easily try to let go of Nolan Arenado. I think somebody like Brendan Donovan could be on the move somewhere if they can get a solid prospect package for him. Like they could be, it could be a very different looking St. Louis Cardinals team come next year. So we'll see about that. But all right, coming up next, the Ravens they've been a really interesting team this year because they I don't know what it is with them. They couldn't figure it out, but they've won 5 straight. They're now 6-5. Are the Ravens back to normal? Like, have they sort of, again, we just talked about how the Cowboys are figuring it out. Have the Ravens figured it out? That's coming up next.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube, talking the boys. So really, the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these 4 teams right here, or you're like me and you love all 4 of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all 4 of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins. And hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Welcome back here to Mike and Josh, exclusively here on the Grid Network. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens here, Josh, because this is a team that's won 5 straight, getting a win against the Jets this past weekend. Now they go on Thursday Night Football. They go back home. They're still home to play the Bengals. Again, another team that is fighting for AFC playoff position, but got off to a terrible, terrible start. Really, really not good. So this is a different conversation we're having about the Ravens today. What do we make of them? Have they kind of righted the ship, or does something still not look right with them? What do you think?
Oh, something still does not look right, and it's Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
I mean, they are pulling out these wins. Thankfully, their schedule lightened up, and it continues to be that way. You know, as you mentioned, they got the Bengals next, and then the hurt Steelers, and then the Bengals again. So they could easily win 8 straight until they run into New England and Green Bay back to back. But the big story with this is Lamar, because Lamar Jackson has not been Lamar Jackson. I mean, if I'm not looking at the name and I'm just looking at the stat line, I'm thinking Tyler Huntley's still playing.
Yeah.
Because when I look at these numbers, so against the Jets, the lowly Jets, 13 of 23, 153 yards, no touchdowns. Against the Browns, 14 of 25, 193 yards, no passing touchdowns. Now, Browns defense better, but still nothing to show for it. The week before that, Vikings, 176 yards, 1 touchdown. Dolphins, he did have 4 touchdowns, but still only threw 204 yards. So they are not moving the ball down the field. And it's not like Derrick Henry's putting up Derrick Henry type numbers either. I mean, he's had, obviously a couple solid games, but nothing to what we're normally expecting. So it's a combination of items where they're not strength of schedule, but weakness of schedule thankfully fell to them at the right time. And with Pittsburgh falling back down to earth a little bit, in addition to the Aaron Rodgers injury, showing, we'll look at it at the end of the season of, Ravens won the division again. No big deal. Yeah, that's what we expected them to do.
Yeah.
This ain't the Ravens team that should be winning the division that we have grown accustomed to. I really feel there's something with Lamar, whether it's a nagging injury, like the injury that he had early in the season is still bothering him, or something else that isn't fully disclosed, because he is not the same guy.
Yeah. So he's certainly not putting together the season that we're used to seeing. And I really wonder if there's something wrong. I wonder if he's hurt.
That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
I really wonder if he's hurt, because the big difference is he's just simply running the ball a ton less. He doesn't scramble as much. He doesn't use his legs nearly as much, right? This year, and he was hurt for a couple of weeks this year, but this year he's rushed for 237 yards. He's got 1 rushing touchdown, okay? He's averaging 29 yards a game on the ground. It's just not the same sort of line that we're used to seeing out of Lamar. I mean, Lamar's his career hovers between around 50 and 60 yards a game rushing.
Right.
He's averaging half that this year. He just isn't doing it. He's relying on becoming a more refined pocket passer, which I think over the course of the last few years, he's been very good at, right? He's got 2 MVPs, I think, for that very reason. But listen, he's just not as effective as he was, and that in turn is just hurting the Ravens offense as a whole, because defenses don't have to game plan for his rushing attack as much anymore.
And in addition with that, because I was touching on Derrick Henry, because I was pulling up his stats as well. Again, his numbers are definitely more mediocre, but it's also part of Lamar's not running the ball nearly as much as you're saying, but then they're also not having Derrick Henry run. Last season, over 17 games, Derrick Henry had 325 rushing attempts. After 11 games this season, he's at 187.
Yeah.
So he'll will probably be around 250-ish attempts by the end of the season, so significantly less than last year, where he averaged 113 yards a game. Currently, he's averaging 79. So if Lamar Jackson is not running nearly as much, but you're not running it with Derrick Henry. And it's not like all of a sudden you're having huge passing numbers from Lamar Jackson because we just went over those too.
Yeah.
They're not moving the ball down the field. But luckily for them, they just happen to be playing teams that have been so bad that they are just finding ways to escape.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have 4 straight games against the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Browns, and the Jets, and then 2 of your next 3 are against the Bengals, that's a gift from the scheduling gods.
Yeah, this just, again, it doesn't look like a playoff team to me. It's a team playing without an identity, right?
Yeah.
They've strayed away so far from what we've become accustomed to of what they do. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith. I just don't have a lot of faith. With Lamar playing the way that he is, with this offense operating the way that it is, I just don't see this team going very far. This is not something that seems fixed to me. This feels very, like you said, a gift from the scheduling gods.
Yeah.
That you've said. That's what this feels like. It is not that the Ravens are figuring it out, because even against, like, their win against the Browns was ugly. I mean, even this win against the Jets was ugly. Like, it doesn't look.
They were losing for half the game
against the Jets. Nobody loses against the Jets.
Against the Tyrod Taylor-led Jets.
Oh my God. I needed to make a trade for Tyrod Taylor, by the way, in my Super Flex Dynasty League this week, because I have 3 quarterbacks on my roster.
All right, hold on. I'm pausing you right there.
Okay.
1, how are you in a fantasy league that is still having trades at this late in the season? 2,
trade deadline was Monday. It's over now.
Okay, still, that's real late in the season, so I'm jealous of that. 2, how is Tyrod Taylor in trade discussions in any fantasy league?
I had to listen. I needed a quarterback that was starting this week. Now, I think I lost anyway, but I needed a quarterback that started this week.
Was the only other option Kirk Cousins?
I have 3 quarterbacks on my roster. I have Baker Mayfield, I have CJ Stroud, who was hurt, and I have Aaron Rodgers, who was hurt. So now
you're in trouble.
So I needed 2 quarterbacks to play. So Tyrod Taylor was my only option. So,
oh boy,
I could have, and to be honest, I made the wrong deal, because the guy that I was trading with, it's EJ Savage, who is a good friend of the network, and is a contributor here at the network, but he offered me a trade for either Tyrod Taylor or Jameis Winston.
Oh, I was literally just going to say Taylor. Jameis Winston and all this. Oh, God.
I should have traded for Jameis Winston. Oh my God.
This is when, and I'm not trying to brag, because I don't always do well in fantasy, as most people have good years and bad years. The last few years, I have had a good track record of waiver or trade pickups. And I will tell you, in my main league that I'm in this year, I started 1-3. It was an ugly start to the season. And then Rico Dowdle saved my season. And I am now 8-4 in that league, just from picking up Rico Dowdle, and everything else kind of fell into place.
Very nice.
So yeah, talk to me next time when you're making a decision between Tyrod Taylor and Jameis Winston. Obviously, neither are stellar by any means, but at least you know what Jameis is going to throw it 40 times.
I do. Listen, I made a decision, and I listen, the Giants were playing the Lions. I thought, like,
also Jameis Winston playing like AJ Brown.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. Gunnar Olszewski getting a passing touch. I should have started him at quarterback.
Yes.
Anywho, hour number 2 coming up next. We'll talk about, are the Oklahoma City Thunder going to be the best team over the next decade? Hal Steinbrenner We'll touch on that. All of that coming up in hour 2. We'll be back in a minute.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not so bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
you need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off, throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports, mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
You are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up! Buckle up!
We're back, hour 2.
Mike and Josh. 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 Spit the facts. Spit the facts. Cut the crap.
Hang on.
Gotta love it.
Get the latest. Run it back. Run it back.
Gotta love it. Hour number 2 here on the Grid Network. Mike and Josh, it's great to have you here. Mike Guido, Josh Tariff. Plenty of stuff to go over today. As we did a fun first hour, Josh. We covered a lot in that first hour. It's gonna be hard to beat that in hour 2. What do you think?
Oh, I'm up for it, because this is the last hour before Thanksgiving.
It's true.
So we got to give. We got to give in this last hour, Mike. We got to go out there, and for all of our listeners, all our loyal fans of the Grid Network, we need to give them everything we got in this last hour. Do you feel it? Do you have the energy? Are you ready to get out there for the second half?
Yeah, run through a wall, baby.
Okay, that I'm trying to hype you up, and you go, yeah, we'll do it. Okay, great.
Yeah,
thanks. I am not Dan Campbell.
I don't have an excuse, by the way. Also,
it's
like 9 o'clock in the morning by you too. You shouldn't have this much.
Right? How do I have this energy?
Yeah, I know. I know, Josh. I'm sorry.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I know it's shameful. Shameful what I just did. Speaking of
stuffing for you on Thursday.
Yeah, really.
You've been banned from stuffing.
Banned from stuffing. Yeah.
You keep this up. The green bean casserole is going to get banned too.
Oh, don't do that. My wife makes an amazing green bean casserole.
Well, then get the energy up.
So, speaking of food, by the way, Josh, our clip that we did about In-N-Out versus Whataburger,
yes,
actually did fairly well last week.
Because I spit facts.
Yeah, we got some pushback on that.
And some a number of personal friends of mine out here in LA were just like, "How could you?" I was just like, "Well, how could I be honest?"
I don't understand what the loyalty is with In-N-Out. I don't get it. I don't
know. I've
like
lived out here for 20 years and I still don't know.
East Coast people don't feel that way about Wendy's or whatever the hell it is. Like,
no,
you know,
they don't.
No.
Well, I mean, not Wendy's specifically, but
you know what I'm getting.
Now I'm trying to think on the East Coast, what is the non-national go-to fast food-ish spot, if there is one?
I don't know that there is one. I don't know that there's.
That's the problem with the East Coast. They don't have one.
They don't have one, right? Because like they have like Burger King and all of that.
That's everywhere,
don't they? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We might not have one.
All right,
you got like Panera Breads and stuff like that out there. Like that's bad. Yeah. Like so, here you go. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there.
we got to work on that. We got to figure out what's going on. Well, you know what? Comment and let us know, what is the go-to fast food place on the East Coast? Because they don't have Whataburgers, they don't have In-N-Outs.
I know.
I mean, is it Shake Shack?
Shake Shack's not fast food.
No, I would. Yeah, I don't know if I would consider Shake Shack fast food. Yeah,
Shake Shack's not fast food. You got to.
It's fast casual.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like in the same boat as like Habit.
What?
Do you not have Habits?
No.
Oh, the Habit, and that has actually been voted. I can't remember what distinction, but like for the last couple of years, been voted as like the best quote unquote fast food burger from the Habit, which is I compare it to a Shake Shack. It's a fast casual spot, but the Habit's burgers to me are better than In-N-Outs.
Yeah.
Is it like a Five Guys? I actually love theirs. Believe it or not, I love the Habit's salads.
Is it like a Five Guys sort of deal?
A little bit, not nearly as expensive as Five Guys.
Okay.
But I mean, they have various, burgers and chicken sandwiches and salads and things like that. So,
gotcha.
I thought those were national at this point. Maybe, I guess not.
Yeah, we don't have Panda Express either.
Oh,
we don't have Panda Express.
I guess I'm just spoiled out here. I have all these.
Yeah, but the thing we have
Whataburger.
We have like really like we have a ton of like regular Chinese food places.
Yes.
Like actual local Chinese food places. So I don't know if that's something they have on the West Coast too.
Yes. We certainly still have our share of places where you get a 2 entree plate for $12 and it will eat you for a week.
Unbelievable.
Yes. I literally have one of those walking distance from my home.
There you go.
That is to me my definition of living in a dangerous part of town, when I can walk to that restaurant, not because of any actual danger in my neighborhood, but just like, I can just fill up on this sodium and MSG for who knows how long for $12.
Right. The one thing we will, by the way, are us East Coast babies. One of the things that we will always have over the West Coast is, what am I going to say? Pizza and bagels, right? That's the thing that we will have over everybody else's pizza and bagels.
And being that I was born and raised on the East Coast, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't have a go-to bagel spot out here. I don't have a go-to pizza spot that's not one of the basic chains that you hear about here. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the main West Coast pizza chain? Is it like,
I mean, it's still
Caesars
your basic ones, your Domino's, your Pizza Huts, it's still all the same as far as the chains. One I do like that's out here is a spot called Amici's. That's a chain. Shout out to, hey, Amici's, if you want to sponsor the show, I'm not stopping you. Feel free. But I mean, I don't have a mom and pop pizza spot that I go to out here that's just great. When I grew up in Massachusetts, it's still near where my parents live. There was a pizza shop called Pizza Shop. That was the name, and that's still the name of the restaurant. Shop is spelled Shoppe.
Oh, so it's fancy.
And to me, that's still my favorite pizza because that's what I grew up with. That was my pizza. Whenever I go visit my parents, I have to go to the Pizza Shop.
Yeah, they've got decent pizza up there in Massachusetts, Boston, around there. They do, they do. Long Island is still king, but
New York. No, I agree. I love New York style pizza. I love New York pizza.
Yeah. Anywho, after our 10-minute long tangent on food.
No, this is how hour 2 is supposed to be. We're in a Thanksgiving frame of mind. Yeah. We should be talking about lots of food, and then maybe for 10 minutes in this hour, talk sports.
So I had, by the way, let's just keep it going. I had a Friendsgiving on Sunday. Okay.
Oh, early Friendsgiving.
Early Friendsgiving. So I had a Friendsgiving on Sunday, and my wife did the whole spiel, right? Mm-hmm. Mashed potatoes, turkey, the whole bit. Thanksgiving dinner is not the best part of Thanksgiving. It is the leftover sandwich that you make the day after.
That is a take. That is a take. I don't hate the take, but that is definitely a take.
You take turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, mac and cheese, gravy, the whole bit, throw it all on a roll, heat it up, and go to town on that puppy. That's the best part of Thanksgiving.
I will give a slight one up to it if there was one extra ingredient that you added on that, because when I go to my annual Friendsgiving, so mine is going to be on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I always make I am not a gourmet chef by any means.
No, neither.
But one thing that I make that always gets rave reviews, I make an incredible buffalo chicken dip.
Okay.
That I will make for these Thanksgivings. So you take that type of sandwich that you have your turkey and or a ham, mashed potatoes, all that,
and dip it.
Add a scoop of the dip in it. Because the way I make the buffalo chicken dip, it's actually best when you use it as sliders, you take little Hawaiian, the sweet Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, right.
You dip in and it's always a buffalo chicken slider. You add buffalo chicken dip in the midst of that sandwich, that's going to give you the perfect Thanksgiving coma.
Yeah. Boy, the nap that I took after I ate that sandwich yesterday. Boy, oh boy, was that good. Anywho, let's
the Thunder. Yeah, whatever. They're good.
Shift. They are very, very good. They are 17-1. Their one loss is against the Portland Trailblazers of all teams in Portland, by 2, by the way. It was a 2-point Blazer win. I'm beginning to think that this is a team that'll never lose again.
They're not going to lose again.
I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't get it. I do get it. This is as deep of a team as you'll see in the NBA, and they have a top 2 or 3 player in the league leading them. I don't really know what else to say.
Well, I will tell you what else to say, because you're right. Top 2 or 3 player in the league, MVP candidate for the last couple of years, won it last year, and will continue to be in it. And they're 17-1 without their second best player.
Yeah, right.
Because Jalen Williams, all-star player, hasn't debuted yet. He's still recovering from his injury. So then you'll throw him back in the mix eventually. And, they have 3 first-round picks this coming draft. And then 3 first-round picks the following draft. So
my goodness.
You have this team that is already incredibly young. Actually, that's something I should have looked up and I don't have it yet. And if you want to try to look it up real quick, what is the average age or what are the ages of the players on this team? Because
I will actually look that up.
Because looking at the roster, my guess is maybe Caruso might be the oldest guy. And if he is, he's what, maybe 30, 31? So they're super young and they have all these picks. And you have obviously your big three and SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet. You're keeping them. And these picks you have are going to continue to be good picks because guess what? Their picks this year, they have their own. They have Utah's and they have Phillies. So they have those picks. Utah's protected if it's in the top 8, but right now they're kind of edged out of it. So if the season ended today, they would have Utah's pick. 2027, they can still swap with the Clippers, who we touched on last week, who are like a disaster.
Yeah.
So they're not going to rebuild in time. So they're going to have that pick. And again, the youth just continues to mature. And okay, the big question when you have young teams of how are they going to be in the big games when they reach the playoffs? Well, guess what? They just took care of that this past season. So that whole confidence question in big games is out the window for this team now.
Yeah.
So nothing is stopping the Thunder for the next several years.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's likely, at least I think, that the Thunder are going to have to offload some of these picks, right? Like they have to, or else they'll just go wasted because they can't use all of these first round picks and keep all the rookies on the roster, right? I just don't know that they can do that. So
were you able to find their age, by the way?
I was, yes. So Oklahoma City is the 9th youngest team in the league. They are 9th youngest. The Brooklyn Nets and the Wizards are tied in age. And they're tied for the youngest team in the NBA. The Clippers are the oldest. The Clippers are the only
Clippers I knew were the oldest, yeah.
The Clippers are the only team in the NBA whose average age is 30 or above. Everybody else is under 30. Golden State is 29. The Kings are 28. You got a bunch of teams in 27, like Nuggets, Bucks, Lakers, Knicks. My Cavs are 26 and a half. They're 18th in the league in age.
And by the way, it looks like I was right. The oldest player on the Thunder is Alex Caruso at age 31.
I know. That's sick.
That's it. And they're only getting better. SGA is just entering his prime.
Right.
Jalen Williams and Chet have not entered their prime yet.
Right.
It's
I think you look at what that roster is, and they are capable of so much more, right? This roster is capable of so much more as a team, right? I mean, you're talking about, and these are guys that haven't even played yet, right? Like Thomas Sorber, their first round pick from this past year's draft, has not played a single game and won't until next year, right? Nikola Topic, obviously there's the health issues that in concern with him, but if he ever at some point finds a way to get back, he's still another really solid player that they can look at, and hasn't played a single NBA game. Like, this is still a team that can improve. Like, package some of these picks and go get another all-star-ish sort of player. And maybe that's not the way they want to do things. Like, maybe they just want to look at this team and say, listen, we're 17-1. We're not, like, obviously, I don't think they're going to look at anything now, but if things are going really well, why change anything? I mean, that might be just the way that they look at this. I'm afraid for because you know me, I always look at the negative of things. I'm afraid of, like, they almost have too many picks, and some of them are going to go, like, they're going to be like, if they're not able to offload some of these picks, like some of these are going to go into like they're going to have a lot of like draft and stash players, right? Like
Or you're able to trade this pick for another pick in a few years. You could always just do that too. You know,
just keep
you
going.
look for a team that is trying to look to build now. Hey, we're good. Hey, I know we got three first-round picks in 2027. Let's trade 2 of those 3 picks to get first-round picks in 2030, and then we're still fine. You know? they have. It's incredible to think of saying, "Oh, I have no notes. There are no issues with a team." Because, like, I question, health, rebounding, defense, 3-point shooting, coaching. Okay, there's got to be something wrong. Nope, not with this team.
Yeah, I don't remember like seeing a team this well run in the NBA, like genuinely, and not being fully. And I know they have SGA, and SGA is without a doubt a superstar, top 2 or 3 in the league.
Yeah,
but not 100% superstar reliant, right? It's not. If they don't have Giannis, they're nothing. If they don't have Jokic, they're nothing, right? The Thunder don't have that feel.
Right, because again, they're missing their second best player has not played at all this season, and they're 17-1.
Right.
In the loaded West.
Yeah.
And they are in a at best mid market. It's more small market than anything else.
It's small, yeah.
Yeah, and so, and that's also why, you know, like if the Knicks were 17-1, I'm just, you know, throwing a random example of a big market. If the Knicks were 17-1, that'd be the only thing that we'd be wanting to talk about for an hour.
Yeah, right.
The Thunder are 17-1, defending champions, and we're chatting about them in the middle of hour 2.
Yeah.
And it just shows it's because of the market, because like a team like this is top news for any sport network. I don't care where you cover. And it's the type of thing of, this is like, to me, this feels like a nightmare for Adam Silver.
Yeah.
Where your most unbeatable team is in the middle of nowhere in a small market. And it's only getting better. Nothing is stopping this team.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not just like a 1-year fluke of, oh, what a nice surprise on what we're seeing. They have built to this the last 2-3 years, and now they're here, and they ain't going anywhere for at least 4 or 5 years at minimum.
Right.
So then when you got these other teams that are continuing, to age, where's the future of basketball? Right, because right now, if you look at like the top teams for the end of the decade, who are going to be like the top teams? When you look at it on paper at this moment, your top teams are like the Thunder, the Pistons, the Magic. You can kind of say the Rockets in there, but Durant's going to, eventually fade off, but they have the other youth behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, 3 of those 4 teams I just named to you are not big markets.
Right.
And so the teams that will fade are your LA-based teams.
Right.
Knicks, Celtics will fade. Again, your major market. Miami has faded. They're mediocre now at best, and really there's no plan in sight for them to repackage.
Golden State
is right up there in age. So the future of the NBA is currently in these smaller markets. And you just mentioned yourself, Brooklyn and Washington are the 2 youngest. Obviously, those teams are a long ways away from being contenders, right now. But if they happen to be drafting players to mold properly, well, then all of a sudden DC could become a team to talk about by the end of the decade. Yeah. Now, that's wishful thinking because we haven't seen any of that yet from them. But if they can take this mindset that the Thunder have done, they have laid out the blueprint on what to do, how to draft, how to build. And then your only trade that you've done on this team was for a role player, where this was like the most like even trade in the last 20 years in the NBA when you did Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, because he's been great for Chicago, and Caruso was the exact piece that Oklahoma needed.
Yeah, right.
How can this be stopped?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it can. It'll eventually run out of time. We might both be dead by then, but
this run will go for 40 plus years.
It'll just go forever and ever and ever. I don't know, man. We'll see. By the way, your Orlando Magic are third in the NBA in age. That's it. Third.
Oh, I know.
They're young.
We are extremely. I love where we're going. And I did have my my cousins were sending me fun texts because they happened to go to the Celtics Magic game the other night where the Celtics beat the Magic and in their little street. And they're, of course, like texting me like, haha, we won. I'm just like, reminder, the Magic were missing 3 of their starters and their backup center, and their backup power forward barely played. So, yes, you won. Good job. We'll maybe see you in the playoffs this year.
That's what I say about people that are like disregarding Cleveland so far this season. The Cavs have been so hurt this year. Right. It's not even funny. Just wait until they get fully healthy. Just wait. Oh, boy. All right. Coming up next, boy, am I going to have a word with Hal Steinbrenner and maybe even Yankee fans. We'll talk about that next.
What up, Cowboys Nation? We are Cowboys Can Fan.
You know, like Canadian fan. And we're big Dallas Cowboy fans. We live stream every Dallas Cowboys game with our unapologetic, intoxicated play-by-play and color commentary, and we guarantee you won't find anything like this anywhere else.
We do that in the ring together?
We told you not. So Bland was here to stay, baby.
And if you like to have a couple cold ones,
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Crack 'em if you got 'em. And watch the Dallas Cowboys play football.
You need to join us 1 hour before the Cowboys kick off. Throw your score prediction in our live chat, and if you're right, guess what? We'll send you a shirt, some Can Fan merch. Click the link, check us out, and subscribe if you like what we do.
Oh, and remember, BYOB.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bring your own boosh.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryson Carver, and I'm the host of the Carving It Up podcast right here on the Grid Network, as well as my own personal YouTube channel, Carving It Up with Bryson Carver. On my show, talk about a number of the biggest topics in the world of sports, as well as culture and entertainment, and I include special segments such as Bryson's Best 10, The Ball View, and one of my favorites, Carving Up the Context. I also like to invite special guests on the show to get different insights and perspectives on topics, and most importantly, I love to hear from you, the audience, in the chat below. So check out Carving It Up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Check the show out anywhere you get your podcasts as well as on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys.
Alex Rodriguez is coming out with a documentary, and it goes into detail. Like, he's never talked about the steroid part of it and all the pressure. You will do a lot more desperate things to try to stay relevant, and you can see that he was straining to be this person that he wasn't, instead of just being the person that he always should have been. Just, I'm Alex Rodriguez, because of imposter syndrome. He had to be somebody that he wasn't. Goes to the Yankees, gets another big fucking contract. I empathize with that, because when you're this great player and people are looking at you and they're looking through you, it makes you realize that maybe Alex doesn't matter. I have to be A-Rod.
Yo, this is Barry Grant Jr. I want to give a big shout out to Mike and Josh, and be on the lookout for more clips from All Even Podcast.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
All right, welcome back. Mike and Josh here exclusively here on the Grid Network. Mike Guido, Josh Tariff. I already told you before, I am a proponent of baseball talk, even in the offseason. I don't think that baseball gets covered enough in sports radio. I also think it doesn't get covered enough in just sports media in general. So I'm going to change that narrative. So I'm roping Josh into a baseball conversation.
You are, and I am actually intrigued by this because you are definitely more knowledgeable in the sport of baseball than I am. So I know you're going to have a much stronger opinion in this. And I specifically, when we were texting, like last night to go over, hey, what we're going to talk about today, you brought up, this thing, about the Yankees. And I was just like, what thing? I hadn't even heard about it.
Yeah.
And you gave me like a 1-sentence summary about it, but I specifically stayed off Googling to try to listen for it or anything like that because I want to hear from you, and so you get like my instant reaction of what was said for this. So Mike, the floor is yours to floor me.
So there's been a lot of discussion over the past 24 hours or so about what Hal Steinbrenner said to the media. Okay, Hal Steinbrenner, if you're not familiar, which I feel like you should be as a sports fan, is right now the primary owner of the New York Yankees.
Yes.
His comments to the media were, now I think some of it was taken out of context, but let me just boil it down. He said, would it be ideal for the Yankees to be able to lower payroll? Yes. Will it happen? Probably not. That's what he said generally. A lot of people are lifting that out of context to the, well, he wants to lower payroll. I think if you asked every owner in sports if they could spend less money and win more, they would say, okay, yeah, I would sign up for that 100%.
Oh, you mean I could spend less money and pocket more? Oh, I guess I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, like what do you expect them to say, you dunce? Yeah. Like I don't get it. The thing that was a little bit more jarring about this was John Heyman asked, well, what are your spending habits going to become? And is it fair? Is it fair to say, I'm assuming you made a profit this past year? Does that have any indication? Whatever. And Hal Steinbrenner essentially said, it's not fair to say we made a profit. It's not fair to say we made a profit. Now, there have been a number of things that have come out since then. Steve Phillips, who's a former GM, came out on MLB Network and said, listen, virtually every major league team just about breaks even on the baseball side. That's just the nature of the business. They just about break even. Where you make your money is in October. If you make the playoffs, how deep you go in the playoffs, sure, that's where you start seeing your profit. And that makes perfectly good sense to me.
Yeah, because hey, we're selling more merch and tickets because our team is still playing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And what is pointed out to be important is that a lot of owners in baseball do not make their money in owning the team. They make their money when they sell it. That's where they make their money. Okay. Here's the thing. This is being perceived by a lot of Yankee fans and a lot of non-Yankee, just baseball people, as the Yankees are crying poor. And I just kind of want to pump the brakes on that a little bit because, and listen, I've been a harsh critic of Hal Steinbrenner in the past. I've been a harsh critic of Brian Cashman, the entire Yankee organization, all the way down to the players. I have been a very harsh critic, and I think that there are real issues in the Yankee organization right now. However, I said this last night on the baseball show. It's very hard to complain as a Yankee fan if you are top 2 or top 3 in payroll every single year. Their payroll this year was around $320 million. Okay. I'm going to assume, and it hasn't happened yet, we still have a full offseason to get through. I'm going to assume that payroll is going to go up again this year. I would imagine they're going to start the year probably in the $320 to $330 million range. Okay. It goes up about 6% about every year. This is the reality of the situation. The Yankees at a $320 million payroll should be capable of winning games and shouldn't have their fans begging them to spend more money. The issue is not that Hal Steinbrenner is cheap. I don't think that, it might be perceived that way because, and I get this way too, when free agency comes along, all the shiny new toys are out there and they're free for the taking, right? Just spend the money. Go sign Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger and Tatsuya Imai and go get everybody and make this super team that it seems like everybody except the Dodgers are incapable of doing. That's not the reality of the business. Okay? It just isn't. And as much as I would love it to be, no baseball team operates that way. Even the Dodgers. What's the most redeeming quality about the Dodgers? Is it the fact that they spend more money than everybody else? That's a great perk. But it's also the fact that they develop talent as good as almost anybody in the league. Why do you think their roster is as good as it is, but they still have a top 5 farm system in all of baseball?
Yeah.
They have, all their homegrown talent. I mean, virtually every starting pitcher they've brought up to the major leagues is working. You really want to throw this out there. Look at what a catastrophic failure the Baby Bombers were. It was a catastrophic failure. Aaron Judge, I make this argument all the time. Aaron Judge had to go outside of the organization for hitting help. He wasn't always this player. Aaron Judge was this close to becoming a bust. He decided to go outside of the organization for swing help. And what happened? He became the best hitter in baseball by a mile. Not because the Yankees coached him, because he found his own coaching.
He went on Craigslist and found, a guy at a batting cage and was able to develop.
Right. Exactly. Look at what the Yankees do with their homegrown talent. Free agents shouldn't be at every position. Okay? They shouldn't. We get that. I get that wanting to fill everything with these top name players from other places. And, I get that free agent acquisition and trade acquisitions are exciting and stimulating in the moment. I understand it. Nobody gets that more than me because I surf Twitter for Yankee news more than any person on earth. I guarantee you. But that's not the nature of the business. You have to be able to develop talent. Anthony Volpe was a top 5 prospect in all of baseball. Where is he now? He's a 660 OPS player who led the league in errors last year. Gleyber Torres, same deal. Gleyber Torres had one great season with the Yankees where he had 38 homers. Okay? Since then, major league average second baseman who accepted the qualifying offer to go back to the Tigers this past year. That's the nature of Yankee player development. Aaron Judge needing to go outside the organization. Guys like Gary Sanchez and Greg Bird and all of these guys failing in the major leagues. And now you've got guys, again, this new crop of younger talent that is struggling to find their footing. You can't have a $400 million payroll and expect that to be sustainable. And I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about finances and all about what major league teams' expenses are. I'm not going to pretend that I know any of that. But I do know that if you're in the top 2 or 3 in payroll every year, and I disagree sometimes about how they spend their money, but not that they do it at all. You can't argue that the Yankees are cheap if they're top 2 or 3 in payroll every single year. Okay? And the only reason they would be 3 is because the Mets all of a sudden decided to spend money. Like, that's the nature of the beast. Hal Steinbrenner deserves criticism, but can we calm down on that? I just listen, man. You have bigger issues than Hal Steinbrenner not spending the money the way that you want him to spend money.
I love this so much. But I'll tell you why I love this so much. I love this because on the West Coast, this is the argument I make all the damn time about the Lakers. And the fact that they do nothing but bring free agents or trades, and everyone gets excited for that. But they won't fully develop most of their talent. They'll trade it away. And so many people that they trade away end up having good careers.
Yeah.
The difference is I am not a diehard Laker fan like you are a diehard Yankee fan.
Yeah.
So the logic and common sense of, hey, we have to develop players plus just the natural passion of it being with your team, it just makes my heart melt. And with it, I agree with you, like with people worried on, oh, they're not spending money, oh, we're losing money, or why won't they spend more money? I looked up the Forbes, top sports franchises in the last 2 years. So 2023, Yankees, according to Forbes, in 2023 were worth $7.1 billion.
Yeah.
In 2024, Forbes listed them at $7.5 billion. So they are moving up. Now, the difference and the spot that a lot of, I'm sure, other Yankee media would emphasize was in 2023, the Yankees were second. 2024, they were fifth. Because the Warriors and the Rams overtook them in total earnings. So even though the Yankees increased their worth by $400 million in a year, because they technically dropped 2 spots, everyone's like, we're losing money. Why are other people making more money than us? This is wrong. We should be spending more money to make more money and all this. And based on this, you would guess when the 2025 numbers come out that the Yankees will probably be right around $8 billion. Because inflation, everything will just continue to go up.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are a top 5 franchise in sports, in American sports, and you're a top 2 or 3 payroll in the league with no salary cap, where they have no problem paying people and bringing people in, but then don't develop, as you pointed out. It's point to figure out yourself to blame because you're not developing. Oh, you want to save money? Look at the Thunder, who we just talked about.
Yeah.
So
nobody develops like they do.
Right. But you need to strive to do half of what they did.
Yeah.
And that's not just the Yankees, that's any team.
Yeah.
But when you do that, you're developing, you're building the fan base, you're building the loyalty, and then you're rewarding the players for their development. Yeah. And then you get a trade, then you get a free agent that wants to come and play with this. You're not just picking guys and placing them and expected, boom, you're here. Now win. And that's what they do with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's bring this guy. Boom, now win. Wait, the first game, they only scored 10 points. They're a bust. Get rid of them. What do we do? This is terrible. No, you have to develop guys to build. And guess what? These other teams, not named the Dallas Cowboys, who are still number one, which I know you're happy about that, and that's a whole different issue. But 2 and 3 in the 2024 list of American sports teams, the Warriors and the Rams. So have the Warriors brought people in? Yes. Have the Rams brought people in? Yes. What's the majority of those players the last 10 plus years? Their own development.
Yeah.
So when you combine the two, it proves that you have positive results in the revenue. Your name, your logo, your design on a hat that you're going to wear while recording with a very slightly bent rim. Had to bring that back from the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That will get you so far.
Yeah.
But you got to do more to make the fans feel, because we can look at numbers, but they also need to see results and see development. And if you're not seeing the results, most likely it's because you're not developing anything.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening with the Yankees.
Yeah. That's it. That is it. And I one last thing I want to bring up on this topic. If you're comparing the Yankees to the Mets and the Dodgers, there's a real argument to be made that the Mets and the Dodgers at this point are very simply playing a different game. And it has nothing to do with the Yankees. Okay. The Dodgers are owned by the Guggenheim Group that can spend money like nobody else. The Mets are owned by Steve Cohen, who is a billionaire among billionaires, making money elsewhere outside of the Mets. The Yankees are not that luxury right now. The Steinbrenners used to make their money elsewhere. They don't anymore. This is the Steinbrenner family's source of, this is their family business. Very, very rarely are they going to reach into their own pocket and start paying players from that sort of revenue stream. And, listen, whether or not they should or they shouldn't, it's their money. I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. I wish they would sometimes, but listen, they offered Juan Soto $760 million. You know what I mean? There's only so much that you can do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, we'll take one last break before we end the show today. We'll be back after this.
Cowboys Nation, what up? It's your boy EJ Savage over here at Boys in the Zone, where it's everything Cowboys related, from the latest news, off-season talk like training camp and draft analysis, and of course, during season game breakdowns and commentary. Would love to see you in the chat kicking it with myself and other members of Cowboys Nation, whether it be a guest that I myself bring in, or Cowboys fan forum videos where I bring you guys on, or even other chat members. We're always live on Twitter and YouTube talking the boys, so really the only thing left to say is, how about them Cowboys? See you there. Peace.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Tim Barnett, and welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. If you're a fan of any of these four teams right here, or you're like me and you love all four of them and you follow them religiously, you're a big fan, this is the show for you. The big thing with this is real commentary and authenticity. I'm going to tell you like it is. If we're great, then we're great. But if we suck, I'm going to tell you that we suck and we need to improve. I'm also not afraid to call out our ownership or front office for making bad decisions, just like I'm not afraid to call out our coaches or our players for screwing some things up or doing great. All right? Because that's what this show is all about. It's about authenticity. So listen, if you're a fan of any of these teams or you're a fan of all four of them, check me out, the Boston Sports Summit, every Wednesday, live at 7 p.m., and it's electric, all right? We're going to go into some great detail about the Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and even the Bruins, and hey, you might even get a guest appearance from my little puppy here. So, it's a great show. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can also follow me on all socials, on Instagram, X, and YouTube, Boston Sports Summit. So check us out. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope to see you there. God bless.
What's going on, y'all? It's Arthur Hurst from the Grid Network, letting y'all know to check out the Saturday morning tailgate starting at 10 Eastern every Saturday. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in for some humor, some great analytics between me, my boy Bryson, and Tim. Again, Saturday morning tailgate every Saturday at 10 Eastern on the Grid Network. See y'all there.
This is Patrick L. Brown, lead journalist here at the Grid Network, reminding you to make sure that you check out all of the latest articles over on the Grid's webpage under the blog section. There you will find the hottest takes in sports mixed in with some mental health articles as well. Dare to be different? Enter the Grid, your new leaders in digital media, sports, and entertainment. As I always say, stay tuned.
All right, we're back for the last couple of minutes here on Mike and Josh here on the Grid Network. So I want to talk briefly before we go about this misconception about turkey that it sucks. It very much does not suck.
No, it doesn't at all. I love turkey.
Why would anybody say that? Like, you get the people out there that say, "Oh, well, it's dry, and I don't like it when it's dry." I'm like, well, okay, then you're not making it right.
Right, you're messing up, and that's what gravy's for.
Thank you. Right, that's what gravy's for.
Okay. Well, if they made it dry, shame on the cook, but you have gravy to back it up just in case.
There you go. See, there you go. See, now Thanksgiving dishes. I know this is kind of a cliche conversation, Josh, but I feel there's only one time a year.
Up right before Thanksgiving. I'm hungry for it. So yeah,
let's right, exactly. You talk about it one time per year.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving side dishes. What are you rolling with?
Oh, I mean, you have your your classics of like your stuffing, your mashed potatoes, your mac and cheese. Yeah. I mean, those are probably my three main ones. Again, I know we touched on green bean casserole. That's obviously a good one too. I've never been a cranberry yams person. That's just me.
Yeah, me
not against people who are, but just not my thing. So what I appreciate though is when Thanksgiving is served with turkey and ham, where you can have like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And you can almost, whichever one of those you think less of than the other one, whichever it is, well, guess what? There's a top tier side for you then. You have your turkey with a side of ham. You have your ham with a side of turkey. You add that with all the other items.
There you go.
It's the perfect plate.
Why is garlic bread not more of a staple on Thanksgiving?
Rolls are definitely a staple.
Right.
Garlic bread, I don't know. I just think garlic is good in the mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love garlic bread, I just don't normally see that with that layout of food.
Mm-hmm.
You give me those, like soft like crescent rolls. I'm sold all day with those.
Yeah, right.
But
give me those Pillsbury biscuits. Right. Those oh my God. Oh.
I can't wait for the carb overload on Thursday.
Oh my God, forget it.
I've been on such a a good wellness plan, and I've been doing my best to behave. I think specifically for Thanksgiving, where all the weight I lost, I'm going to gain back in one meal. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I accept it. And I cannot wait for it. So what do you feel garlic bread should be there instead of the Pillsbury Doughboy rolls?
No. But it should be an option. It should be like a regularly considered option, I think.
Okay.
Go get your garlic bread, maybe with a little bit of cheese on top. I'm a big cheese guy. Just throw cheese on everything.
rice. Is that involved in Thanksgiving meals or no?
No, I would say no. For me, no. If
I
you're
agree.
choosing
I
from rice,
have that with
mashed
I have that
potatoes,
with almost every other meal anyway. So
yeah, right, right, exactly. I don't. Yeah, if you're having rice, like that's maybe one of the last sides I reach for if it's on the table.
gotcha.
I prioritize other things.
And then last question with this, and it's obviously a very important question.
Uh-huh.
Do you go for seconds, thirds, or other?
I can safely say I always go for thirds.
Wow.
Safely say I go for thirds. After thirds, it gets to be a struggle, like a real struggle. Okay. As much as I would love, because, well, here's the thing. When I go for seconds, it's usually a full plate again. Okay?
Sure.
When I go for thirds, it might be like 80% of a full plate.
That's still a lot for thirds.
Pretty good, right? Once you get to past thirds, you start getting into like the, I'm going to explode territory. So it's like, it's not even really fourths or fifths. It's more of like, I'll have a little more of this and a little more of this. And then you just keep subtracting as you get fuller. Does that make sense?
So that, yeah. And I apologize. I wish I had that stamina. Because I mean, I'm with you, definitely, seconds with like, and again, a full plate, but then my thirds at that point is just like, okay, what are my top 2 or 3 favorite items that were there? Right. I'll have like 1 or 2 pieces of those, and then I'm just like, and I can't move now.
You tap out, right?
Yeah.
Right, can't move. All right, that does it for us. That's Josh Tariff. I'm Mike Guido. This is Mike and Josh here exclusively on the Grid Network every Tuesday.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. Happy Thanksgiving to all that celebrate. And for one more time, Josh.
You are listening to Mike Guido and Josh Tariff. Buckle up!
We'll see you next week. Great to have you here.
Let's see you get 4th or 5th for your Thanksgiving.
Hey, that's right. There you go.
Mike and Josh. Mike and Josh. Spit the facts. Cut the crap. Get the latest. Let's run it back.
We'll see.